Terrorism in the Northeast in the past 6 years has given rise to huge socio-economic problems in that zone. In many parts, the local economy, education of millions of children have been stalled for years. The tragedy of thousands of orphaned children poses huge social challenges. The cost of rehabilitation of destroyed infrastructure and homes is huge. To effectively compete for international and even local investment, we need to improve our position on the ease of doing business indexes. This calls for both radical improvements in bureaucratic delays in obtaining pre-investment processes and also substantial investment in infrastructure, especially power, roads, and technology. But as we take the tough macro and micro decisions for accelerated growth, we are compelled to redress the paradox of high growth figures and widening inequality, rising unemployment and poverty. It is evident that any economic model that leaves nearly half of the citizenry behind requires rethinking. This is why our economic model would involve substantial social investments over the next 3 years. I'm pleased to note that since 1993, the annual Nigerian Economic Summit has been organized by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group and the National Planning Commission as a public-private partnership initiative. It has remained the foremost Nigerian platform and forum, which brings together the public and private sectors to interact, share thoughts, and build consensus on policy options and implementation frameworks for our country. Let me therefore commend the Summit Group for being steadfast and consistent in providing this national platform. But this is as it should be. The task of nation building is a shared responsibility. The more substantial requirements for development today is in terms of knowledge, human resources, and capital. And all of these actually lie outside of formal government structures. No meaningful economic or social change is possible without the active partnership of the private sector, which actively includes civil society. I'm personally looking forward to the outcomes of this summit. Something tells me that it could have many of the answers that we need for us to win for our people and our country in the very interesting times ahead. I wish you very fruitful deliberations and a good time as you catch up with friends and colleagues. It's therefore my honor and pleasure to declare open this 21st Nigerian Economic Summit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. My task is very simple, and that's to say thank you. And Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is ably represented here by the Vice President, Executive Governors here present, and we have Professor Ben Ayadi of Cross River State, and His Excellency Senator Abubakar Atiku Baguda of Kebbi State. Thank you for coming. We're still looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, and we hope you will come, and with the rest of the 36 state governors. It's going to be an interesting discussion, so we look forward to seeing you. I want to thank God for making today possible. It was to be or not to be. People are asking us, are you still going ahead? And we said, yes, the it is fixed, and we're going ahead. And we thank you very much, Your Excellency, for acceding to the request that we go ahead. We're very grateful. I want to thank our sponsors, because our main partner, the NPC, they've been our partner for 21 years, and they've been the face at the federal government side, liaising with us and working with us, not only at this 3-day summit, but as we walk all around 24/7. More often than not, people think that the economic summit is just about this 3-day summit. but we have 10 policy commissions that work all year round. And they've been our partner. And like we saw when we met the vice president, there's been an agreement that will have more representation at a very senior level so that these policy commissions will be as effective as they should be. I want to thank you already for that, for acceding to that. I want to thank our sponsors. If you look at page 68 of our program and the back page, you see a list of all of them. So we thank you most sincerely, because without you, we won't be here. And we thank you for sponsoring us. We thank you because you will sponsor us again. I want to thank the members of the Diplomatic Corps. We thank our streams of volunteers that have rapporteured, that have done this technical work. Some people are out there still working and organizing, putting all this together. Development partners, many of them, they pay to serve. We don't pay them anything. They pay to serve. Many of our resource persons have had to come here by themselves. We thank all of you. We thank the members of the press. We thank you, delegates, for paying your way here and for agreeing to be here 3 days to discuss the issues of tough choices as it confronts Nigeria. I want to thank my board members, because if I don't thank them, maybe I'll lose my job when I leave here. I want to thank the board members. I want to thank the trustees and patrons and the founding fathers who've kept us the way we are since the 21 years that we started this summit. We're really very grateful. We thank the press. We thank everybody. We're looking forward to a very, very robust 3 days discussion, and our hope and our expectations is that at the end of these 3 days, we'll be able to make meaningful input into the programs of government. But not only are we going to make inputs in the programs of government, that we, private sector, will leave here committed to do our own part in building the nations. But thank you most sincerely. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me quickly just, on behalf of the Masters of Ceremony, sign us off by saying that the exhibition will the tour of the exhibition will take place now, to be led by the Secretary of the National Planning Commission and the Chairman of the Board of NESG. They will lead His Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, SAN, on the tour of the exhibition stands. And right after that, there's lunch at the mezzanine of the Oriental Hall. We reconvene in this room for the second plenary. Thank you. The national anthem, please. National anthem before we leave the room. National anthem.
The Presidential Policy Dialogue of the first plenary session of the Nigerian Economic Summit, which has just taken place at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel in Abuja. Nigeria's Vice President, of course, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, representing the President himself, President Muhammadu Buhari. Well, the theme for today has been tough choices for this year, achieving competitiveness, inclusive growth and sustainability. News Track comes up at the top of the hour. You're watching Channels Television.